Sleep training, I've never heard anything positive about that word, from leave them in the room till they cry and all kinds of stories that you see online. And so why would you recommend a form of sleep training? Just chatting to our ladies beforehand, I told them what an honor it is to be able to help moms and parents and our dads. And today we're going to help you by hopefully showing you and teaching you how to have baby fall asleep. So I'm really lucky to have Lindi Koekemoer and Zanda Greeff with us. Seeing you, I want to fall into a tranquil sleep. Why are our babies not sleeping? Lindi and Zanda, tell us, what are some of the common problems why a baby might not be sleeping?
Well, thank you so much for having us. We really do appreciate it. So yes, there are quite a few reasons why our babies don't sleep. But the reasons that they are waking is mostly because of growth development. Sometimes they're going through sleep regressions. It could be sleep cycles. It's not always hunger waking. So sometimes we do always think, oh, our baby's awake, so they should be hungry. So then we end up maybe responding in that way, and it might become a pattern. But we try and educate our parents that there are different ways to respond, and that we don't always find ourselves that we have one way of doing things.
Lindi, what's your approach? I mean, most of us wonder, and I love what you said, that most of us are trying our best and we are made to respond to babies cry. I mean, it's that whole thing of when you hear someone else's baby crying, you can feel your milk come on, you immediately want to go and help.
Yeah, so I think oftentimes we just need to give a step back, and it's like with walking and crawling and all of that. Our children need to learn that skill, and we actually give them that space to learn to walk. We guide them and we show them, okay, but you can actually give this step. We give them the self-confidence that they know that I am able to take this step and take a step forward. So it's exactly the same with sleeping as well. We need to encourage them and give them the self-confidence to know that when mom puts me down, I am able to just go to sleep. I can let go and I can peacefully take a nap. And when I wake up again, someone's going to come and get me and we're going to play again. It's fun. It's about just taking a step back and allowing them to get the courage to do it by themselves.
I immediately start thinking of the word milestones, which I sometimes want to throw out with a baby's bathwater, literally. And I'm just thinking of your own journey, Zanda. Why the name Brave Little Baby? Did it come from a personal experience?
Yes, so my second son, we used to call him the Brave Little Lion. He used to be quite sick his whole first year of his life. So I think just when I finally found sleep via doing sleep coaching and doing a program myself with my little one, and really just realizing what a gift it is to really be able to have sleep and cope with life. I have 3 sons as well. So it's quite a challenge to be tired and handle a whole household. So that's where it came across when I realized that I want to give the gift of sleep to other parents and really just reassure them that there are solutions.
Well, I want to be brave too, and I can only be brave if I have enough sleep. So let's sleep. How do we get to sleep?
Obviously, with every family, they're unique, and your child sleeps in a different way than other children. Everyone's unique. But usually I can give you about 3 tips for a general age up until 2 or 3 or 4. This usually works. So number 1 is get into a routine. Even if it's a flexible routine, have certain times of the day that stuff happens. So you've got a little routine that you do each time before your child goes to sleep. So that just creates predictability and tells them that when mom takes me into the room, we do a nappy change, we read a book, she puts me down, I need to sleep. And the second thing is we want to do this little routine before each nap time and at bedtime. So create that specific routine that you do at every nap time and at every bedtime. So try and implement this for about a week and you'll definitely see a change already. And then the third thing is, again, that thing of just giving a step back and just listening when you hear your child waking up from a nap or at, say, 10 or 11 at night. Just listen, and you know your child. So just listen. If it's a moan or it's not really an awake cry, just give a step back and see what happens. If it turns into a cry, obviously give a loving response and do what you need to do and put them back to sleep.
So something as simple as that can definitely help baby and also our children. I love the fact that you said that there can be a routine, and that is how they will recognize that it is sleepy time.
Mm-hmm.
Zanda, what can you add to this? I mean, how do we put baby down to sleep, literally?
Yeah, so we've got a few great solutions with videos that you can share where we are specifically focusing on newborns. So maybe that could give them some guidance.
Why can't we sit on our chairs and rock them to and fro for hours?
For hours.
Or while they're on the boob and just
Yes.
fall asleep like that?
So generally we say, don't change anything that you love about your baby and the way they're falling asleep. Our solutions are mostly for moms who are really struggling, who maybe needs to go back to work, who is just not coping with contact napping. And the biggest solution that solves the problem, even let them giggle and have fun so that they can really associate sleep with happy feelings. They are more okay to actually fall asleep on their own wide awake, because we don't want to trick them. We don't want to slip out of the room and they wake up and they don't know where they are. If they've fallen asleep in your arms and you put them down, I would be confused. I would be like, hey, I was just in your arms now. Why am I in the bed? So we want them to fall asleep and know where they are falling asleep, so that can solve that's part of the solution to healthy and happy sleep.
So basically orientating baby, it's like you falling asleep on the couch and then all of a sudden you wake up in your bed, right?
Yeah.
Not a good.
That's very good. Yeah.
Do we have to put layers of clothes on? Is it the blanket? What if they're too hot?
Swaddling is an amazing tool. I know so many moms, and including myself, I believe that my baby hates a swaddle. Like, don't even try and put him or her in a swaddle. They just hate it. But after learning this and applying it with so many babies, just constantly applying it and doing it from the beginning, they get so used to it. And it's an amazing tool to help them settle and just calm that Moro reflex that they have.
How long should baby be sleeping?
The general rule is from about 9 months. One can expect that they can really do stretches without even feedings. But we can already work on self-soothing and getting them to do longer stretches from about 4 months.
Right.
So I've had newborns that do really long stretches. So it really depends on baby.
A thought came up now for me around traveling and breaking the routine.
So we generally say if you can keep to the routine about 80% of the time, you can be flexible 20% of the time. So, and that's, I think, why weeks are like spread out perfectly. So if you can try and stay consistent 5 days of the week, 2 days you can do, I mean, weekends, we all want to do stuff because we can go out and have time with our families. So if you try and stay consistent in the week, try and stick with your routine, then you won't disrupt your child so much. And once they're in that routine and they're used to certain stuff happening, if you're going on a holiday, for instance, just keep on doing that. So before nap time, take your baby to the room, read a little book, put him in bed, and try and keep a dark white noise on. So everything kind of stays the same. It's just a different house.
What about twin moms and sharing a room? 2 babies in one room, they wake up each other, but socially we would want them to also have.
Actually working with twins at the moment, so it is quite a struggle if the one's waking the one and the one's waking the other one. So we do again, white noise definitely helps a lot with but it is a struggle. So we do try with the twins to have them in the same routine, feed them the same times, have similar ideas of how to get them to fall asleep. So usually your twins actually are not bad with sleeping, because I think you're always attending to the one and then the other one might be crying. That might just have been enough, and then they've fallen asleep by themselves because you're already busy with this one. So they sometimes learn the skill to fall asleep on their own accidentally.
Sleep training, I've never heard anything positive about that word, you know, from leave them in the room till they cry and all kinds of stories that you see online. And so what should we know?
So we have about 7 methods that we're using to implement a form of sleep training for every unique situation. So, and like Zanda said, we evaluate temperament. So one thing will work for this baby, one thing won't work for them. But I think with sleep training, the thing to just remember is that we need to step back and give our children the space to actually learn that skill and to fall asleep by themselves. And the other thing that people are always scared of is attachment. So they worry that if they leave their baby for, say, 2 minutes in the room, even while they're sitting next to them, a lot of our methods were in the room. So you're supporting your child through it. You're there to help them through the emotion. I, as a mom, know that you need to sleep now. You can't actually help yourself by this point because you're overtired. So you need to just try and sleep, and then everything resets and we can start again with playing or starting with our day.
How do we know that the person that we got in to help our baby sleep is not going to be effective?
Yeah, so I think it's a personal experience for each one. The methods that we choose, like Lindi said, we do according to the temperament of the mom. If the mom is like, I can't handle crying at all, then we kind of have to look at that and tell her, listen, okay, we have a program, but it takes 4 to 6 weeks before we actually see big victories. So you need to have that patience, and you need to be able to be at home to be consistent enough so that the methods work. But our usual methods are that we, let's say the biggest package that we are presenting is the one that takes 2 weeks. Okay. But there's also different methods. There are in the room methods. There are methods where you would be going in and out. So it's all depends on what the need is. Sometimes parents need to go to work quicker. So then we need to figure out how to get the process rolling a little bit sooner. Another question we always get also is, if I've sleep trained my baby once, would it have to happen again? Like, I'm going to do it now, but do I have to go through it again? I personally had to work on my baby's sleep probably 3 or 4 times because there's illness, there's sleep regressions. You've gone away from holiday and things completely went wrong, but the process never takes that long again. So it's usually maybe let's say we did the sleep training in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it started sorting out and things are much better. But then when my son was sick now, it only took about 3 days implementing the same loving boundary, and then things are back on track. So it's all consistency and predictability is the thing that sorts it out.
Ladies, it's been great chatting to both of you. We can't wait to contact you. I've got 100,000 more questions around this. I even have questions around the fact that when the second baby comes, you know, the first one is back in nappies and now the routine is back. But I think you answered it for me when you said if you've done it once, there's hope. And hopefully they can fall back to sleep again. Lindi Koekemoer and Zanda Greeff joining us from bravelittlebaby.com.